Sai Ram, our humble pranams at Swami's lotus feet. This is my greatest opportunity to talk about Swami. That gives me immense pleasure. It's always a very joyful thing to talk about Swami. To go back in history, how Swami took us into his fold. It's way back in 1979 when my landlord in Kandy read my horoscope and said, "Sarath, you have a lot of grace from God." And so he asked me, "Do you worship any God in particular?" I said, "No." He said, "Start going to Skanda temple, that is God Katharagama's temple in Kandy, and start worshipping him right now." So we did that. For long years we have been even going to Katharagama on and off, and then worshipping God Katharagama. Then when I was serving in Jaffna, once my wife called and said our next door neighbor, Sister Janaki, had requested her to join for bhajans. So she asked me, "Is it okay to join?" I said, "That's perfectly fine, because no religion will teach you anything bad." So whenever I used to come down once a month, I also used to go and sit at the back of the bhajan hall at Alvihara residence. And when I came out, I felt like walking on clouds, that all the tension and anxiety that you come up with when you come from Jaffna, it's all gone. So I thought there should be something special with this Swami. And then I started reading a lot of books about Swami and came to know much closer. The first book I read was Sai Baba's Miracle by Howard Moffat, and that gives me a real insight of who Swami is. The other thing is why I was able to relate to Swami, because he tells the same thing that Buddha preached in a different way. Buddha said it's compassion, and Swami says love, and Swami says love all, serve all. So Buddha also says the same thing, but the way that Swami puts it across, it's very appealing, and it's really fulfilling. So that's how I was introduced to Swami by himself. And as life went on, my wife used to hold bhajans for every milestone birthday of mine, starting with the 40th birthday back in 1989. And we arranged bhajans at our home in Panagoda, Kandalan officers' married quarters. And that's the first time Swami visited us, I believe. Because when he was about to start the bhajans, somebody had come and knocked on the door and said, "Where is Sarath?" So my sister, who answered the door, had said, "He is about to start a puja, and you can meet him after about 1.5 hours." That exactly about hour and a half later, the same person had come and asked, "Where is he?" So she says, "She is still involved in the puja. Please come later, and if you are in a hurry, these are the numbers to call." My home number, office number, everything, but that call never came through to me until today. So that was Swami visiting us. And the first miracle that happened at that bhajan was Auntie Gangheva, who came with the bhajan group from Kalambu Sai Center, and she brought a Shivalingam given by Swami. And after the bhajans, my wife and son had seen the Shivalingam rotating at a terrific speed, but it was put on a egg cup like thing, very small thing. There was no way that it could rotate in such a speed. But when they came and told me when I went to see him, it had stopped. So that was Swami's signature card, as he says, that he was very much present there. Do you want to add anything for that?
And at the end of the bhajan, everybody went home after prasadam and everything. So I just went near the chair to worship the chair one more time. And there was this impression on the chair as if there was a robe we had put. Jayanti, Sister Jayanti had lent us Swami's robe, which Swami had given her some time ago. And we had kept that robe on the chair for Swami to sit. And for sure, there was this impression and the smell, like there were petals on the chair which was crushed, as if somebody was seated there for a long time. It was amazing.
So, Swami was guiding our lives from that time onwards. We had this, I had this doubt about worshipping, following Swami's teaching whilst being a devotee of Lord Skanda. So, a friend of mine who also was a devotee, Brother Janta, he is no more. I asked him, he said, Sarath, I had the same question, so I had an opportunity to ask Swami. And Swami smiled at him and said, he asked Swami, I'm worshipping God Kataragama and I'm worshipping you as well. Am I doing something wrong? And I have this guilt feeling. So Swami smiled at him and said, tapped on his left shoulder and said, you remember 3 years ago in the eastern province of Sri Lanka, when you came under fire, you were praying to Lord Skanda to save your life. He said, yes, Swami. He said, that's I who came and saved your life. And at the exact spot where Swami tapped him, he had a live bullet bruising through his muscle. So he cried and fell at Swami's feet. And for me, that was the answer, and there was no looking back from that time. Then I retired from the Sri Lankan Army, and then I joined the Oman Army with the British Army training group, and we spent there for almost 3.5 years. My wife was teaching the Sri Lankan school, and we got involved a lot with the Sai Center in Muscat, Oman, where we did a lot of seva projects, a lot of blood donations. It was called, they used to name it as liquid love. Every November 23rd, we used to donate blood, visit various hospitals. And from there, Swami sent us to California, United States back in 1992, where we got much more involved with Sai activities. We have our home host the San Marcos Bhajan group since 2002, and we also joined the Encinitas Sai Center, which is official center. Ours is on the Bhajan group. I was the service coordinator in the Encinitas Center in early 2000s. We did a lot of projects like medical camps and of course weekly Narayan Seva, feeding the homeless, and home for the aged, all that. Then Swami in 2002 control elements. As you know, Swami controls everything in this universe. Whenever I need something, I really pray, and sometimes I demand of Swami, please do this for me. Like a naughty child asking his dad. Because for me, Swami is mother, father, teacher, friend, guru, my technical advisor, my highway patrolman, everything. Whenever I need something, I always ask Swami mentally, and he grants that immediately. So back in 2002, I had my niece's wedding at the backyard of my home. The weather forecast predicted, that was 16th December 2002, that there are going to be 80% chance of rain the following morning. So I really prayed hard to Swami, please hold this rain so that we could conduct this ceremony. And sure, Swami did. At 4 in the morning when I woke up, I saw a bright golden stripe on the eastern skies. So that was an indication that Swami is holding the rain for us. And everything went off well, very smoothly. It was very balmy weather. Swami held it. Everyone was comfortable out in the backyard. And the following day, there was no prediction of rain, and it rained in buckets, as if Swami held it in his hand and then let it go. So that is our Swami. And whenever I need parking in a busy parking lot, I always ask for himself, and there's something happens and he makes a spot for me. On the freeways, in the highways in the USA, there's always a lot of traffic. You pray to Swami, take me safely and on time, and he always does. Every time I get into the car, I pray to Swami, please take me safely. And whenever I finish my journey, I always thank him for bringing me back safely. So it's a lifelong conversation with Swami. That's what I call Namasmarana. That's my opinion. And there is no place to meditate separately, or you have to sit in a corner. And Swami has said meditation and Namasmarana is a 24/7 thing. Because you have to keep on remembering Swami, because when your last breath comes, there is no time for you to think about Swami. It should naturally, automatically come like a muscle memory in golf. Swami had saved my life on 3 occasions. First one was in Oman, in Muscat. I was driving an army car. In Muscat, the roads go up, the highways go up, and the surface roads go down. So it's like a roller coaster. So I used to take a big thrill in going up, speeding, and then coming down. On that day, 13th April 1999, I remember, I was speeding at about 120 kilometers per hour. When I went to the top, I saw a huge pile of vehicles parked down there because of an accident. And I knew that I'm going to hit the car in front at that speed. There would have been nothing left of me if that happened. I prayed to Swami. I said, Swami, please save my life. I was very conscious. And when I came to the top, the front car was not even 10 feet away. By any known laws of physics, a car driving at 60 miles per hour needs 88 feet to come to a standstill. But here I had hardly 5 to 6 feet with the front car. At that moment, I felt a huge big magnet lift my car upwards, up into the air. And I literally felt I was in there. And then Swami put it down on the ground. And I came to a very smooth stop, not even a brake, screeching of brakes. I was safe like a baby. And cars in front have hit each other, cars in the rear have hit each other. I was safe in Swami's hands. Then the second thing was Sister Janaki was in California at that time, and she was trying to get her driver's license. I was giving her a practice lesson on our way for our Sunday Seva, Narayan Seva. And another devotee who came from rear just touched the rear of our car, and our car went and hit the left curb, and it swerved to the right side and right curb. Both tires went flat. Then again the car started turning few times. So I was thinking, Swami, please save us. I might break my hand, I might break my leg, I might break my neck. Anything could have happened at that time. So ultimately it came to a stop on the roof. All the wheels were up. It was resting on the roof. So I had to do a somersault and come out of the door. And then I tried to open the other passenger side, driver side door. I could not open. So I had to drag Sister Janaki from the other side. The only damage that happened was a bottle of jam that we were taking for peanut butter jelly sandwiches. So as that happened, there were 2 police patrol cars, fire truck and ambulance. And a gentleman came up and said, I'm a physician, do you guys need any help? Now that never happens in California, because all the physicians are scared of lawsuits going beyond and above their call of duty. So no one volunteers like that. So when this happened, I asked the police, how did you come? He said, no, we were in the area, we just thought of coming here. So see how Swami works.
And bhajan was still playing in the car, right?
Yes, the bhajan was still playing in the car. The police officer asked, who is singing? So Sister Janaki said, oh, that Swami is singing. And 2 days later, I went to the garage to pick up my garage opener, where it was put for repairs. And I could not open the door that I came out of. So just see how Swami operates things to save his child. Then Sister Janaki had an opportunity in Swami's interview room to mention about this accident. Swami said, "Oh yes, I was there. I put my hand to save you both." Then on the in Los Angeles, when we were drying up on the Bollywood hills, my wife said, "We are getting a very unusual noise from the rear." I said, "No, it may be the ricochet of the wall that we were traveling against." So she said, "No, I'm sure there must be a tire puncture." So I knew it was tire puncture, and the noise became more and more. So I was going in the fast lane. I had to get into the right side to stop the car. It was a van. And all of a sudden, when I looked at the rear view mirror, I saw a petrol car flashing the lights and slowing down all the cars because they were speeding at about 70, 80 miles per hour. And that police car allowed me to take to the right, and I stopped it safely, and I called immediately for help. There is American Automobile Association AAA and also California Highway Patrol. I called them because it's not safe to stay there. I wanted a petrol car parked there so that you could get the tire fixed. So when I called the Highway Patrol, "Can you please send me a unit?" He said, "Sorry, we are not in that area." I said, "No, there was a car just behind me. What happened to that car?" He said, "Let me check." And he checked his monitor and said, "Sorry, sir, there was no cars in that area." So it was Swami who came as a patrolman and saved our life. And Swami blessed us with 4 interviews. It may be due to our past good karma in our past lives. The first interview was in 2002, and Swami ushered us it. When we were called for Swami's interview, amongst thousands of people who are gathered in the Sai Kulavant Hall, it's like winning a jackpot in a lottery. It's a very rare thing. I'm sure most of you who had interviews know the feeling, how elated you become when Swami calls you for an interview. So we went there to the room. Swami was the best host I've ever seen. He takes you in, he makes sure everyone is comfortable. If you are physically challenged, he gets a chair for you to sit. He switches the fan on, he switches the lights on. And when everyone is comfortably seated, it's a small room, then only Swami takes his seat. And when he sits in his chair, Swami is like a child, playing jokes with you, playing tricks on you. You can't say that he is the Lord of the universe. So first, my friend, Brother Rohan, he had a ring. He said, "Give me that ring, it's dirty." So he blew it 3 times and he became a beautiful diamond ring. And Swami passed it around and he said, "What is this one? What is this, Swami?" So everyone said, "Swami, it's a diamond ring." No, it's not diamond, it's diamond, he said. And another devotee was there. He said, "Swami, my ring is very small. Can you make it bigger?" He said, "Yeah, give it to me." And he blew 3 times and became the exact size for his finger. So, and Swami used to look at her, my wife Janaki, and I said, "Where's your husband?" This Swami is here. And he looks at me and says, "Where's your wife?" I said, "She's there, Swami." So, playing like that, Swami told Janaki, "He's a good boy." So, that was the biggest challenge Swami put on me, to maintain the goodness that Swami wants me to be. And everyone had the opportunity to take pictures with Swami. So when we took the pictures by sitting on Swami's either side, and next one was our friends who went with us from California, Asita and Deepani. And when their turn came, I wanted to get up. Then I still remember Swami pushed me on my left shoulder and said, "No, you wait." So for what reason, I don't know. And they had to sit, both of them had to sit on one side. And Swami made me to appear in their picture as well. So reasons only known to Swami. Then that was in 2002. Anything else you want to add? First interview?
There was a Russian mom and a son who came into the interview room with us, and the son was going on to college, I think, and Swami asked, "What do you want?" And he said, "Nothing, Swami." Then Swami said, "No, no, I'll give you something," and raised his hand up and turned his hand, and there was a wristwatch, and he gave the wristwatch to this son, and we all went, "Ooh, Swami," and he was laughing. He's like a small child, a friend. He laughs, he jokes, and it was the second interview. He said, "Work, work," right? Not
Yeah.
the first one.
Yeah, in the second interview in 2004, Swami looked at her and said, you work, 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 work and work.
And I'm still working.
And that's exactly Janaki is. When there is no work, she become like sick. You know? So in the second interview, I was talking to Swami, and since we had our bhajan room, I wanted to get a robe for the bhajan room. So I asked Swami, could you please give me a robe? So he pretends to hear the word only bhajan, not the robe. He said, your bhajans, your slow bhajans are good, your high-pitched bhajans are at times no good. So I said, Swami, could you please bless me to sing high-pitched bhajans? Okay, I'll do that. Come next year with your wife, I'll bless you. So again, Swami took us into his inner room, and then we talked to him. He blessed us. We came out. Then the following year also, we were blessed with another interview. So we went in, and after the outer interview room, Swami took us to the inner interview room, and then I reminded Swami, you said you are going to bless me to sing high-pitched bhajans. Swami then went into a trance-like. After about few minutes, he wrote something in there. Probably he was writing my bad karma off and writing good karma into that, or erasing them off. And he reached at my throat and did this 3 times. He said, okay, now you go, you can sing high-pitched bhajans. So that is my father, my mother, my guru, who always looks after me, who blesses me, who keeps us safe, and who guides us in our life. Then in 2006, the last time when we had an interview, Swami ushered us into the interview room, did the normal rituals. He switches the light on, put the fan on, then talking to all of us. Then he takes couples into his interview room. At that time, another Austrian opera singer who was a devotee in our center, she gave me an album she did to be offered to Swami. So I took it with me and then gave it to Swami. Swami looked at it and gave it back to me. I gave it to Swami again. He gave it back to me. So it was going on for a few times. I'm giving it to him, Swami giving it back to me. So next time I thought, I'll do a smart thing, I'll put it on Swami's lap. So Swami smiled and took it and put it on his side table. So in that interview, that was the longest Swami kept us in his inner room, only 2 of us. Didn't talk much, but love was pouring from him towards us. That I still remember, not a single noise. It was real fatherly, motherly love pouring on us for well over 15-20 minutes. So I felt this may be my last personal interview with Swami, and of course Swami knew about it. And when we were about to come out, I told Swami, you are my life. So he put a sweet smile on me and said, very happy, I'm always with you, around you, above you, within you, and I will always protect you. Which he kept to his word until to date. No harm comes to us because we are protected by our dear Lord. All the way, wherever we are, whether we are in the seas, high seas, or up in the skies, or anywhere in the land, because I always chant Gayatri Mantra whenever we take off in a plane or whenever a plane lands. Those are the two crucial timings of a aircraft. And when we were in the high seas, whenever I get into a ship, I always pray to Swami. So there is no place on earth where his name is not mentioned. So that is the total surrender and total transformation that Swami made me. Going back again, I want to tell you, after Vadamarachi operation, because Swami had told Professor Kasturi that if you are my devotee, you shall not consume fish or any flesh or consume any alcoholic beverages. So I want to do this transformation as offering to Swami. So in 87, I gave up eating chicken. Then I used to take a beer and a wine. I gave that up. Then I went to Oman in 1990. In 1992, I gave up eating fish and eggs. So I really wanted to live the life that Swami wants us to live. And of course, I'm losing still on my vatalappang and butter cakes because everything has eggs. So my wife says, you are a big problem because you don't eat eggs. You want to tell something, expand on that? So I think that's the transformation that Swami needs from us. If you have any health or medical reasons on the medical advice, that's fine. But on your own, I think every one of us strive to make it. See the thousands of people in India, I think most of them are vegetarians. And most part of the world, in the US, there are so many vegetarians. I mean, name it, in Russia, everywhere. So that's the only transformation I made. I hope Swami is happy that I am trying to stick to his teaching, stick to the transformation he needs. Whenever you make a sincere prayer to Swami, and especially when you pray for others, that Swami always fulfills within no time, because Swami says, don't delay, don't hesitate. If something has to be done, do it, especially helping others. Because Swami says, Manava Seva is Madhava Seva, and help ever, hurt never. So these are the simple terms that Swami has given us to the humanity. If you follow those things, you are really on pathway to God.
My son was in medical school and he was trying to get residency. In USA, you have to complete medical school, then do residency for 3 or 4 years. And he did not get matched that year and he was disappointed. So I went home from work to see the results and he said, Ammi, I did not get in. And I saw the disappointment in his on his face, and I felt so sad as a mother, because I knew he was so waiting, so looking forward to this day. And when the day came, his name was not there and he was disappointed, and he thought we were disappointed, his parents, and he said, don't worry, Ammi, I'll do something else. But I knew in his voice that he was very sad. So I drove back to school where I was working, and I was praying to Swami. I went and sat at my table. Whenever I'm stressed, I start writing Om Sai Ram, Om Sai Ram. For some reason, that has given me so much solace. And I started writing Om Sai Ram in very tiny letters on a half page, A4, right?
Half sheet.
Half sheet. And I finished one side, I turned and I was writing, and then the telephone rang. So I answered the phone and my husband said, do you want your son to go to Arizona? I said, what, for what? I thought they were talking and he was trying to do something else. And he said, no, he was called without any interview. Now, normally to get residency, you have to face a couple of interviews. This was out of the blues, without any interviews. His friend had spoken to the professor, and professor had called and said, we have a vacancy, come. And that is a very tough hospital to get into. And I knew at that moment Swami answered my call and he understood the pain. And thank you, Swami. Even up to now, I'm so thankful because my son got to do what he wanted to do.
I forgot to tell you, in the first interview, our son also joined us. And, you know, when we were walking into the interview room, Swami looked at my son and he said, son, help me to walk into the interview room. And look here, the Lord of the universe asking my son to help him walk into the interview room. So my son held Swami's, I believe, left hand or right hand, and then he was walking in. I quickly asked Swami, Swami, can I please take a picture? He said, yes, yes, go ahead. So I took a picture which I still treasure. And then my son had to be by Swami's chair. Whenever he gets up, he had to hold. I don't know for what reason. So he is a really blessed child, and Swami knew that Swami had to guide him in the path that he wanted to do. Now he's serving as a psychiatrist in Tucson, Arizona, and that's how he looks after his devotees, his children. And whenever you pray, I reinstate once again, pray sincerely and Swami answers, and it's immediate, instant.
Yeah.
And on 2010, if you remember, the Swami gave every country, I think 1 hour session with him for all the countries. So instead of joining the USA group, I joined the Sri Lankan group, and we were given opportunity to sit right in front of Swami, where our students sit. And I could have eye-to-eye contact with Swami. So we seated for a long time, about 1 to 1.5 hours. And Swami wanted me to learn to chant Vedam. So we did that in early 2000. So whenever I get an opportunity, I chant Veda in the morning. So I want to ask Swami, Swami, does my chanting reaches you? Give me an indication. So then there was a Madhya Pradesh group. They were doing a dance of their cultural dance. All of a sudden they stopped the dance when my thought went out to Swami, and they stopped what they were doing and they started dancing to the tune of Om Namo Bhagavate Rudraya. So I said, thank you, Swami. That was really touching, because whenever thought comes,
It
Swami,
reaches Swami.
It reaches Swami and he immediately responds. As I said earlier, all I have to give is to all my listeners, seniors, brothers, sisters, elders, and children, the answer is total surrender to Swami. Live in Swami. Start the day with love, spend the day with love, end the day with love. Always, that's the Namasmara that you do. You do that, all your worldly problem will be resolved. Your education, your job, your work, your marriage, your children's thing, everything, leave it at Swami's lotus feet. He will take care of you. That's all. Jai Sai Ram.
Jai Sai Ram.